Have you ever hired someone that looked great on paper, but they just didn't fit in your company? I'm Karie Kaufmann, and I'm going to give you a quick tip on how to hire effectively. Hiring is a huge decision. Even if it's just a minimum wage position, when you add up all the time that you invest to find the right person, training them, employ them for some length of time, maybe remedy any mistakes that they have, do damage control, and then maybe ultimately rehire that position, it can cost tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to make a bad hiring decision, which is why it's so important that you consider two things when you're hiring. The first one is obvious. This is one most business owners get right, and that's looking for the skill set. The second one, though, is what's most commonly overlooked, and that's looking for character. Personally, I believe you should hire for character and train for skill, because it's usually the character fit that determines whether or not somebody's going to be a success within your organization. In most cases, skills can be taught, but you can't teach a culture fit. You can't teach honesty, integrity, friendliness. You can't teach somebody to care about their job. That's what hiring for character is all about. So I'm going to give you a quick tip on interviewing to help you vet out whether the character and the personality of the person is a right fit for your company. This all starts with the interview questions. I use what I call behavioral or situational types of questions to get people telling you stories. Because I've learned you can learn a lot more about a person when you just get them talking and telling you stories than you can learn with any number of scripted answers. For example, sometimes it's not even their answer that matters so much as maybe the way they deliver it. You can learn as much by what they say as by what they don't say. You can learn by how quickly they think on their feet, by how engaging they are. Oftentimes those skills, and those are the intangible skills that are often hard to define, but that'll give you a greater indication of whether or not they're going to be successful in the position you're hiring for. So I'm going to give you a couple examples of lame questions versus awesome questions, okay? First example, lame question. What are your strengths and weaknesses? I mean, come on, like how scriptive an answer are you looking for? You're just begging them for them to give you some strength that's kind of twisted to make it look like a weakness, but it's really still a strength, right? Like, oh, my weakness is I just care too much and I work too hard, right? You're not gonna get a real answer. A better version of that question is to ask a question like, tell me, what skill sets do you want to continue to develop? Just phrasing the question a little bit differently, you're more likely to get a more sincere, more honest answer that might actually tell you where they stand in some of the skill sets you're looking for. And here's another lame question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in customer service? Or maybe a team player. You could ask the same question, a scale of 1 to 10 about being a team player. Okay? Lame question, right? You're going to get a pretty generic answer. Here's an awesome version of that question. So tell me about a time that you had to deal with a difficult or adversarial person. What happened? How did it go? And how did the whole thing work out? Right? Now you'll hear an interesting story, no doubt, but you'll also pick up on nuances like, do they complain? Do they throw other people under the bus? Do they have the right attitude? Do they handle a customer service situation the same way that you would want it handled at your company? So those are the skills and that's a character and the personality that you can't test for on paper, and that asking generic questions isn't going to help you find out. So when you're looking to hire your next person, the best way to come up with interview questions is to think of the personality and the character traits that are most important to you for this position, and then you can craft a question to get them to telling you a story about that topic. If that's hard for you, you can also think about maybe what annoys you, what annoyed you maybe about your previous employee, and that might help you craft some questions as well. So the quality of the questions that you ask determine the quality of the answers that you get, and the more you can learn about a person beforehand, the greater chance you'll have at setting them up to succeed if and when you hire them. If you're looking to hire a team of A players or develop team members that you already have, I'd like to invite you to attend a free workshop that I have coming up soon called How to Hire and Develop a Team of A Players. You can find information about it on this page, and I'd love to have you there. I'd love your feedback on this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below.